and business scholar, student at Rehan School Online Academy. I am from Faisalabad and I am 10 years old. Today, my AI session with ChatGPT. AI session with ChatGPT topic name is title AI session. Title name is Explore the ways about growth mindset with ChatGPT. Start the AI session with ChatGPT, no time waste. Hi ChatGPT. Hi, our ChatGPT. Hi, hi ChatGPT.
Hey, how's it going? What's on your mind today?
Okay, so this is my mind. First question is ChatGPT. No time waste. What is a growth mindset?
A growth mindset is the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication, hard work, and learning. People with a growth mindset see challenges as opportunities to improve rather than as obstacles. They believe effort leads to success, and mistakes are just part of the learning process. It's the opposite of a fixed mindset, where people think their talents are set and can't change much. Does that help clarify it?
Okay. So my next question is ChatGPT. How is a growth mindset different
Glad it
from
made
a
sense. If you have more questions or want to dive deeper into it, just let me know.
Okay. How is a growth mindset different from a fixed mindset?
A growth mindset sees challenges as opportunities to learn and grow, while a fixed mindset believes that abilities are innate and unchangeable. In a growth mindset, failure is viewed as a chance to improve, whereas in a fixed mindset, failure is often seen as a reflection of one's limits. People with a growth mindset embrace effort and perseverance, while those with a fixed mindset may avoid challenges out of fear of not being good enough. Does that clear up the difference?
Oh yeah, okay. So my next question: do you think you are born with a fixed mindset or it learned?
Great question. Most experts believe that mindsets are learned, not something we're born with. While certain traits may make someone more likely to develop a fixed mindset, like how they were raised or early experiences, the way we view our abilities can change over time. For example, if someone is taught that effort leads to improvement and encouraged to embrace challenges, they're more likely to develop a growth mindset. It's something that can be cultivated. What do you think?
Yeah, okay. So my next question is: can people change their mindset? How? 6 examples.
Yes, companies often seek alternative solutions as they grow and face new challenges, much like how individuals can shift their mindsets. And yes, people can absolutely change their mindset. It takes time and effort, but it's very possible. Here are 6 ways to do it. 1. Embrace challenges. Instead of avoiding difficult tasks, tackle them head on. This helps build resilience and a growth mindset. 2. Learn from feedback. View constructive criticism as a tool for improvement, rather than something personal. 3. Focus on effort, not just results. Celebrate the effort you put in, not just the outcome. This shifts the focus from fixed traits to growth. 4. Cultivate curiosity. Ask questions and seek out new knowledge. A curious mindset encourages learning. 5. Surround yourself with growth-oriented people. Being around others who encourage learning and perseverance can inspire you to adopt the same mindset. 6. Use positive self-talk. Change how you talk to yourself. Replace I can't with I can't do this yet, fostering a belief in your ability to improve. By consistently practicing these, people can shift toward a growth mindset. How does that sound?
Oh yeah, okay. So my next question is: what is daily important in developing a growth mindset?
What's really important in developing a growth mindset is belief in effort and the willingness to learn from challenges. It's about understanding that your abilities aren't fixed and can improve with persistence, practice, and the right strategies. Embracing mistakes as part of the learning process also plays a key role. In essence, having a growth mindset means believing that growth is always possible, no matter where you start. What do you think is the most important part of this for you?
Oh yeah, okay. So my next question is ChatGPT. What do you usually say to yourself when you face a true challenge?
When facing a tough challenge, a good mindset shift might be telling myself, this is an opportunity to grow and learn, or I'll figure this out with effort and persistence. It's about reframing the challenge as something I can improve on, not something that defines my abilities. It helps stay focused and motivated, even when things are difficult. What do you usually say to yourself when you face challenges?
Oh yeah, okay. So my next question is ChatGPT. How can you turn negative self-talk into positive motivation?
Turning negative self talk into positive motivation is all about shifting your perspective. Here's how you can do it. 1. Catch the negative thought. The first step is recognizing when you're being hard on yourself. 2. Challenge it. Ask yourself, is this really true? What evidence do I have? Often, negative thoughts are exaggerated. 3. Reframe the thought. Replace I can't do this with I can improve with practice. 4. Focus on progress, not perfection. Celebrate small wins instead of focusing on what's not going right. 5. Use empowering language. Replace words like fail with learn or struggle with opportunity. 6. Practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness you'd offer a friend. By practicing these, you can build a habit of shifting your mindset to something more encouraging. Do you think any of these would work for you?
Oh yeah, okay. So my next question is how does the word yet help you grow? Example, I can't do it yet.
The word yet is powerful because it shifts your mindset from thinking something is impossible to believing it's just a matter of time and effort. When you say, I can't do it yet, you're acknowledging that growth is a process. It helps you stay patient and persistent. For example, if you're learning guitar and struggling with bar chords, instead of saying, I can't play these, saying can't play these yet makes room for improvement and motivates you to keep practicing. It's a reminder that with time, practice, and learning, you'll get better. Do you think adding yet could change how you approach things?
Oh yeah, okay. So my next question is what's a recent mistake you learned from?
Great question. While I don't actually make design mistakes in the way humans might, I can reflect on common ones others might encounter when working on designs. Here are a few lessons that can be learned. 1. Overcomplicating things. Trying to add too many elements or features can clutter the design, making it less effective. Keeping things simple and focused often works best. 2. Ignoring the user experience. Sometimes designs look good but are difficult to use. Always considering the end user's experience is key to effective design. 3. Lack of consistency. Using inconsistent fonts, colors, or layouts can confuse the viewer. Consistency helps create a smooth and cohesive experience. 4. Neglecting accessibility. Forgetting to consider people with disabilities like colorblindness can limit the reach of a design. It's important to design with inclusivity in mind. 5. Not testing the design. Skipping testing can lead to missing crucial feedback. It's always important to get input from others before finalizing a design. 6. Overlooking details. Small details like spacing or alignment may seem insignificant, but they can make a big difference in how polished the design looks. Learning from these helps to create better designs that are functional and impactful. Do any of these resonate with your own experiences?
Oh,
It's great to hear we're on the same page. Learning from mistakes is a big part of growth. Have you encountered any design challenges recently?
oh yeah, okay. So my next question is who inspires you to have a growth mindset?
I get inspired by a lot of people who embody the growth mindset. For example, Thomas Edison, who famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work," is a great example of persistence and learning from failure. Another source of inspiration is Michael Jordan, who was cut from his high school basketball team but used that setback to work harder and become one of the greatest. Then there's Carol Dweck, the psychologist who coined the term growth mindset. Her research really opened up new ways of thinking about learning and potential. How about you? Is there anyone who inspires your mindset?
Oh yeah, okay. So my next question is how can school encourage a growth mindset in student system example?
Schools can encourage a growth mindset in students in several ways. Here are some examples. 1. Praise effort, not just results. Instead of just congratulating students for good grades, praise them for the effort, persistence, and strategies they use to get there. 2. Encourage a fail forward mentality. Create a safe environment where making mistakes is seen as part of the learning process. Teachers can share their own experiences of overcoming challenges. 3. Set challenges, not just goals. Encourage students to push themselves by setting goals that challenge their current abilities, helping them grow. 4. Promote a love for learning. Show students the value of learning for the sake of knowledge, not just for grades. This can include allowing them to explore topics they're curious about. 5. Model a growth mindset. Teachers can demonstrate growth by sharing their learning experiences and showing how they continue to develop. 6. Offer constructive feedback. Focus on what students can improve and how, rather than just pointing out what went wrong. These practices help create an environment where students feel motivated to keep improving, regardless of where they start. How do you think your school could implement some of these?
Oh yeah, okay. So my next question do you press effort or intelligence more often? Why?
It sounds like you're asking about the idea of pressing FET, or indigest. Could you clarify what you mean by that? I want to make sure I understand your question properly before responding.
Oh yeah, okay. So my next question is do you effort what role does curiosity
Sure,
play?
go ahead with your next question.
Wow, okay. What role does curiosity play in growth mindset in example 6?
Curiosity plays a huge role in developing a growth mindset, especially in the example where students are encouraged to promote a love for learning. When students are curious, they're more likely to ask questions, seek out new information, and explore topics that challenge them. This mindset shift from "I have to learn this" to "I want to learn this" helps them embrace challenges and see learning as an exciting journey, rather than a task to check off. For example, if a student is struggling with a math problem, their curiosity might drive them to look for different methods or ask for help, instead of feeling defeated. Curiosity fuels persistence, which is key to a growth mindset. How do you stay curious when you're facing something tricky?
Oh yeah, okay. So my next question is how can feedback help you improve 6 examples?
Feedback plays a crucial role in helping improve safety because it helps identify areas for improvement and provides guidance on how to avoid mistakes. Here are a few examples. 1. Workplace safety. If an employee receives feedback about not wearing proper protective gear, they can adjust and take the necessary precautions in the future to prevent accidents. 2. Driving safety. A driving instructor might give feedback on your speed or turning technique. That feedback helps you become more aware of potential risks and refine your driving habits for safety. 3. Health and wellness. Feedback from a fitness trainer about your posture during exercises can prevent injury and improve long-term safety during workouts. 4. Emergency response. After an emergency drill, feedback on how to react quickly and effectively can help improve response times and safety in real situations. In all of these cases, feedback helps highlight weaknesses, build awareness, and guide improvement, leading to safer outcomes. How do you handle feedback in situations that involve safety?
Oh yeah, okay. So my next question is, what are three things you could do daily to build a growth mindset?
To build a growth mindset daily, here are three things you could do. 1. Embrace challenges. Look for opportunities to try new things or tackle tasks that push you out of your comfort zone. Whether it's learning a new skill or solving a tough problem, challenges help you grow. 2. Practice positive self-talk. Replace negative thoughts with affirmations like, I can improve with effort, or I'll figure this out. The way you talk to yourself shapes your mindset. 3. Reflect on mistakes. Instead of seeing mistakes as failures, view them as learning moments. At the end of the day, reflect on what didn't go well and think about what you can do differently next time. These habits can help shift your thinking toward growth every day. Do any of these resonate with what you're trying to work on?
Oh yeah, okay. So my next question is, how does comparing yourself to other impact your mindset?
Comparing yourself to others can have a big impact on your mindset, often in a negative way. If you compare yourself to someone who is further along, it can make you feel discouraged or like you're not good enough. This can lead to a fixed mindset where you start believing your abilities are limited and that improvement isn't possible. On the other hand, comparing yourself to others in a way that highlights their journey rather than their result can inspire a growth mindset. If you see someone overcoming challenges and improving, it can motivate you to work harder and learn from their approach, rather than feeling defeated. The key is to focus on your own progress instead of comparing directly to others. It's about competing with yourself to become better each day. How do you feel about comparing your progress to others?
Oh yeah, okay. So my
It
next.
sounds like you're referring to comparing yourself or others regionally.
Oh
If
yeah.
that's the case, comparing regionally can have both positive and negative effects, depending on the perspective. In some ways, regional comparisons can motivate you to improve by showing how others in your region are achieving things, especially if you look at the progress in a way that's constructive. For example, seeing how people from your area have overcome challenges can be inspiring. On the flip side, it can also lead to a fixed mindset if you feel like you're not measuring up to regional expectations or standards, which might make you feel stuck or discouraged. The key is not to let regional comparisons limit your belief in growth, but to use them as motivation to improve your own skills. Does that sound like what you meant by regionally?
Oh yeah, okay. So my next question. Oh yeah, okay. So my next
Glad
question.
that made sense. If you have any more thoughts or questions on the topic, feel
Yeah,
free to share.
yeah. What can we learn from people who never give up? Success is talent or hard. Six example.
People who never give up often find success, even though it may take time and effort. Their perseverance is key. Here are a few examples. 1. Thomas Edison. He failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. He once said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." His refusal to give up led to one of the greatest inventions of all time. 2. J.K. Rowling. Before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon, Rowling faced rejection from multiple publishers. She kept going, believing in her story, and eventually became one of the most successful authors ever. 3. Michael Jordan. He was cut from his high school basketball team, but he didn't let that defeat stop him. Through constant effort and learning from his failures, he became one of the greatest basketball players in history. These examples show that success is often the result of relentless persistence, even when things seem hard. The journey might be long, but the key is never giving up. Do you have any role models who inspire you in this way?
Oh yeah, okay. So my next question is, what a skill you once thought you could not even but did?
There are a few skills that I imagine many people, including myself, might have once thought were out of reach or too challenging. Some examples might include 1. Public speaking. Many people feel nervous or afraid of speaking in front of an audience, thinking they could never do it confidently. With practice and experience, however, most people can improve their speaking skills. 2. Learning a new language. It can feel overwhelming to learn a completely new language, especially if it's very different from your native one. But with persistence and consistent practice, it becomes easier over time. 3. Playing a musical instrument. At first, learning an instrument might seem impossible, especially if you start later in life. But with daily practice and patience, many people master instruments that once felt out of their reach. 4. Coding or programming. A lot of people think they could never understand computer programming or coding. But with the right resources and a bit of determination, anyone can learn how to code. For many, these skills feel impossible at first, but with effort and the right approach, they become achievable. Are there any skills you thought you couldn't learn, but ended up mastering?
Oh yeah, okay. So my next question is, what kind of language do growth minding people use? Can example people use minding?
People with a growth mindset tend to use language that is focused on effort, learning, and improvement. Their language reflects their belief that abilities can be developed through hard work and persistence. Here are some examples of the kind of language they might use. 1. I can't do this yet. This shows that they believe improvement is possible with time and practice. 2. What can I learn from this? Instead of seeing a setback as a failure, they view it as an opportunity to grow. 3. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting better. This emphasizes progress rather than perfection. 4. This is challenging, but I can figure it out. They embrace challenges instead of avoiding them. 5. Mistakes help me learn. They see mistakes as part of the learning process, not something to avoid. 6. How can I improve this next time? Reflecting on improvement and setting new goals for growth. Language like this helps reinforce the belief that abilities can be developed and that failure is just a step toward success. Does this kind of language resonate with how you like to approach challenges?
Oh yeah, okay. So my next question is, how do you realistically connect to mindset 6 weeks?
It seems like your question might have been cut off. Could you clarify what you mean by disconnect A? I'd be happy to help once I understand better.
Oh yeah, okay. So my next question is, how does resilience connect to mindset?
It sounds like you might be asking how DAL-E, an AI image generation model by OpenAI, relates to a growth mindset. DAL-E, just like a growth mindset, emphasizes learning through experimentation and evolution. Here's how they connect. 1. Learning from mistakes. DALL-E improves its output over time by learning from user input and adjusting based on feedback. Similarly, a growth mindset encourages learning from setbacks and mistakes as a way to improve. 2. Exploration and creativity. DALL-E pushes creative boundaries by generating images based on unique prompts, much like someone with a growth mindset is always open to exploring new ideas, even if they are challenging or unfamiliar. 3. Iterative improvement. The more you work with DALL-E, the better it can refine its results, which mirrors the idea of continuously improving and growing through consistent effort in a growth mindset. In both cases, it's about seeing potential in growth, whether that's in AI generating creative images or in a person developing their skills over time. Does this answer what you were looking for?
Oh yeah, okay. So my next question is what happens in your brain when you learn something new?
When you learn something new, your brain forms new connections between neurons, a process called neuroplasticity. Essentially, your brain is rewiring itself to accommodate the new information. Here's a brief breakdown of what happens. 1. Synapses form. When you encounter new information or practice a skill, your brain creates new pathways, synapses, between neurons. This makes it easier to recall and apply the information in the future. 2. Strengthening connections. The more you practice, the stronger these connections become. This is why repetition and practice are key to mastering new skills. 3. Dopamine release. Learning something new can also trigger the release of dopamine, the brain's reward chemical. This makes learning feel rewarding and motivates you to keep going. 4. Memory consolidation. After learning something, your brain transfers the information from short-term to long-term memory, especially during rest or sleep. In short, your brain adapts, rewires, and strengthens itself the more you challenge it with new learning experiences. It's like exercising your brain muscles. Does that help explain how learning works in the brain?
For my ChatGPT session time is over, so next episode for the A session. So bye bye, my friend and my followers. Next episode for the A session.